You see how long this is? And that one sheet. Keep going, Adam. Keep going, Adam. Keep going, Adam. Now this is just... Okay, girls. Great. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to talk about these words today. I don't know whether you might not be an educated fella, but I wonder whether you know what the longest word is in the world. What is the longest word in the world? We're going to go through a few of these and find out what is the longest word in the world. So if you're interested, Southport, only 5 minutes, just gather in and we'll see what the longest word in the world is. Now, this is the first word I'm going to look at. It's called anti-disestablishmentarianism. Anyone heard of that word? Anybody heard it before? You've heard it. Wonderful. Anybody know what it means? No? It's the 18th century, separation. Daniel's like explaining it there using sign language. Go on, Daniel.
The disestablishment of the church.
Yeah, the disestablishment of the church. It's like a separation of church and state, okay? That's what that one is. But that is not the longest word in the world. There's one even longer than it. And it's this one. Floccinaucinihillipidification. Anybody any ideas what that means? Floccinaucinihillipidification. Anybody? Anybody Southport? Oh, not very educated today, are we? We're just still brushing away the first cobwebs of the morning. But that means that word, floccinaucinihillipidification, is the act of describing things or treating things as unimportant, which is quite topical because a lot of people walking past there and think, well, this isn't that relevant, so I'll just carry on walking, but it is. I'm coming to a point you realise that it's very, very important what I'm talking about. So yeah, don't regard what I'm saying as unimportant, otherwise you are indulging in floccinaucinihillipidification. Okay, but there's an even longer word than that in the world, and it's this word, pseudo hypoparathyroidism, alright? Now that is a disease that affects bone growth, but it is virtually undetectable. You have normal levels of calcium and phosphorus in your blood, alright, so it's very difficult to diagnose. But obviously when you get to a certain age and you're not as tall as everybody else, you probably suffer from pseudo hypoparathyroidism, alright? Which is interesting because again, some of us have things in us that we don't know about that can be deadly, and I'll come to that in a moment, alright? Anyway, moving on to the next one. You've probably heard of this one. Who's heard of this one? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I won't break into song. I'll save your ears, Southport. But yeah, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. We're all sitting on Mary Poppins. That is even longer than these other three words, okay? And that actually is a word that is something you say when you have nothing to say at all. When you're so flabbergasted, you're like, I don't know what to say, you just use that word, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Something to say when you have nothing to say. You don't know, but you can't find the words, okay? But there's an even longer word than that, and it's this one, hippopotamonstrosiquiptaliophobia. Now, anybody know what hippopotamonstrosiquiptaliophobia means?
Fear of hippos?
It's not the fear of hippos, no. It actually is. It's the fear of long words. So that lady probably suffers from it now because she took one look at it and thought, oh, I need to get away from this board here. Fear of long words. If you suffer from long word fear, then you suffer from hippopotamonstrosiquiptaliophobia. But there's an even longer word in the world than that. And it's this one. Pneumonal ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Don't ask me to say it a second time, please. Otherwise I'll spit my false teeth out like my dad keeps doing. Yeah, that word means it's a disease caused by the inhalation. It's a lung disease caused by the inhalation of very fine silica or quartz dust, okay? Pneumonal ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. A whopping great 45 letters long, okay? But that isn't the longest word in the world. There's an even longer word than that I'm going to put right up here. Would you like to see what it is? Would you like to know what's even longer than human ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis? I'll reveal the word that's even longer than that. I'll show you. It's this word. It's the word eternity. And why? Because it goes on and on forever. Now, we're just a bunch of Christians today, and we're talking to the people of Southport because we want to say to you, have you considered eternity? Have you recognised just how long eternity is, and have you prepared for it? Because eternity goes on and on and on and on forever. And yet we seem to be too much trapped in the here and now, don't we? Deciding, oh, what am I going to have for dinner? What am I going to pay my bills? All relevant questions. But we tend to be too trapped in the here and now, and think about just what's going on now and preparing for now. Instead of thinking, what about the next life? What about the afterlife? Now, last week, we had a board out there and we surveyed Southport and the majority of Southport said that they believed in an afterlife. It came up yes for afterlife, way more than the people who said no. So I know, Southport, that you believe overwhelmingly in an afterlife. Now, if you believe in an afterlife, I want to ask you, well, what are you doing about it? What are you preparing for it? Are you going, do you know where you're going when you die? Do you know what your next destination is? That's what I want to know. Okay, so has anybody considered, anybody in Southport considered where they're going to spend eternity? That word, that destination that goes on and on forever. Now, it's hard to get your head around the eternity idea, isn't it? It's very hard. But I'm going to try and do it in a kind of visual way. I've got a toilet roll here, and on this toilet roll, I have coloured in one sheet that is red, all right? Now, that one sheet that is red represents your life. I'm going to get my friend Adam here, Adam, if you don't mind. So he's going to show you, demonstrate just how long that's. So that life there, you're going to keep walking backwards, Adam, all the way up the street there. If the wind doesn't blow it away, that'd be fantastic. Okay. Now, not too quick because you might rest. But you see how long this is, and that one sheet. Keep going, Adam. Keep going, Adam. Keep going, Adam. Now this is just we've broken it off there. Carry on. Let's start together. Crack on. Right, keep going, Adam. Keep going. All right. Hang on, Adam.
Where's your dog?
Right.
You're meant to have a white dog.
Just hold the red end, Adam, and keep going. Now, that's as far as my toilet roll is going to go without it ripping. Okay, but you can just about see the tiny little bit of red there, can't you, at the end of the toilet roll? Yeah? And you can see how long this is. Very, very long, isn't it? Adam, if you don't mind picking that up for us, otherwise we'll get done by the street sweeper fella who was shouting at us before for the dropping tracks, so sort that out. But you can get the idea. Even that toilet roll that went on and on and on and on, and you couldn't see the little red sheet that I'd coloured right down there. It was right off in the distance, disappearing into the sunlight where Adam was. Okay, that's what it'd be like for you when you're in eternity, looking back at this life. You'll be thinking, I can hardly remember it. It was so off in the distance. The toilet roll's blowing down the street. Adam, go and get the toilet roll. So it's just ridiculous, isn't it? You will hardly remember this life. You will just it'll be just like a vapour. It's gone, and yet we spend so much time.
That toilet roll's got an end.
It has got an end,
Eternity,
yeah.
infinity.
Exactly, which is why it's not a very great. Thank you so much. Your name?
Don.
Don has just demonstrated something fantastic. This toilet roll is finite. It has got an end to it. All right, and it doesn't go on forever, unlike eternity. So it's not a great illustration, but at least you can just see how small your life was in compared with the toilet roll. Imagine if that toilet roll was infinite, and Adam could have walked all the way around the world and kept going and come past here again, and going and going and going and keep going and going forever and ever. That's what eternity's like. It never ends. And the thing is, your soul is eternal. It never ends. And the thing is this, it's going to be in one or two destinations. It'll either be in heaven or it'll be in hell. Now, we're here today is because we've had our eyes opened by God. Nothing clever that we've done on our part. God has just opened our eyes to be able to see His truth. And we want Him to do that for you as well today. Now, it'd be really bad of us if we just kept it to ourselves and thought, you know what? Forget the people of Southport. I'm just going to carry on with my job and all the rest of it and earn money and whatever. I'm just going to live for now. No, that would be wrong, because we know that now is not it. All right? Your life goes on forever. So it doesn't matter that I'm taking a day off work today to come and teach you, tell you about all of these things, because money doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter about what money you accrued for yourselves. It doesn't matter. You cannot take it with you. So the only thing that matters in this life is one thing, and that is your relationship with God. So what is your relationship with God? Do you know Him? Do you know Him on a personal level, like me and some of my friends know Him? Or is He just somebody who created the world and then disappeared and has just left us to it? Alright, what is your relationship with God? Because you need a relationship with God. You need to realise that God has done something incredible for you. He sent His Son to die for you. Well, why would He do something like that? Why would He allow His Son to die for you? And the reason is this. It's because we've done things wrong. Those wrong things that we've done wrong need punishing. Now, we can either be punished for them forever and ever in eternity, or we can allow what Jesus did on the cross and accept the punishment that God accepted on our behalf. And we can say, thank you, Jesus, for taking my punishment so I don't have to spend eternity in hell. I can go to heaven for all eternity, on the new earth, where God is going to be, thanks to what Jesus did. And that's the great message of the gospel, what we're sharing with you today. So I would implore you, people of Southport, to please come and have a chat to us. I've got some John's Gospels here and some other leaflets, and they're completely free of charge. And when you read about the gospel, when you read about the truth of Jesus Christ in these gospels, you know, I'm sure you realise what God has done for you and how much He loves you, and then you can escape an eternity in hell that goes on and on forever. You can be in heaven forever and ever, not because of anything you've done good, but all because of what Jesus has done in purchasing your salvation. So thank you for listening. Please do come and get a John's Gospel. Thank you.